Right, I'm with Owen, Ruby, Christian and Max, and we're just talking through their proposal for their coursework. So in terms of your research and the kind of things that you've been doing, have you kind of decided on a genre in particular?
Yes, we've chosen dance pop.
Okay, why is that? What did your research tell you?
Because we wanted to do a target audience our age, and we felt that dance pop was the most popularised genre for us.
Okay, so in terms of why have you decided to target your age range? Is it because you obviously kind of know what their needs and requirements are, or do you think it's something to do with the consumption of music of that age range? What do you think?
Well, our target audience is ranged from 13 to 24.
Yeah.
And we found that out because we did a target questionnaire to those sorts of ages, and we found out that they prefer dance pop because they said it was funky.
Yeah, we kind of know what music videos they like to watch. So.
Would you suggest that is the kind of age range that are most likely to watch music videos as well?
Yeah, definitely.
So in terms of consumption, what other research have you done as well that's been useful in particular? What has your research kind of told you?
Owen did for his RMA, he did the script video for Science and Faith, and we've got a lot of ideas from that we want to include in our music video.
Okay, so would you mind telling me a little bit about the ideas in that video that have influenced you?
Yeah, in the videos, like, they took a very simplistic approach to the video. It was just the three artists, like the band members, like the drummer, the guitarist, and then the main singer.
Yeah.
And then it was just on a white backdrop, like in a studio. And then what happened was there was as the song went through, it was like projected like images into like the artist like side of face and stuff. You get it? I don't know if you understand that. I don't know if you have to watch it yourself.
No, I've seen that on your blog, so
like,
I can visualise that.
I think it was just like the main thing is that it was a very simplistic approach, but there was complexity within it as well.
What the complexity in terms of was it quite symbolic in terms of communicating the messages?
What he was singing, like the lyrics matched the visuals.
Yeah. So is that what you're going for? I suppose in dance pop, have you decided that perhaps that's the most important thing, that people understand the core kind of ideas in the song, and that is the thing that is most successfully communicated in a video?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you also obviously had a focus group as well. So within your focus group, what did that tell you? How did that inform your planning and what you plan to do? Christian?
In our focus group, we found out lots of things like what they enjoy in our music video, in different music videos.
What were your main findings there?
They like it to be like based on the main artist a lot, so we can involve lots of like close-ups on our main artist.
Yeah. Do you know why that's important to do anyway?
To like make it more recognisable to.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the whole
to promote the artist.
Yeah, that's the whole function. What you are making is a promotional package, so it's really selling a band. So having those, if that's something that people enjoy. In terms of the style of music, what other sort of codes and conventions really are there for that kind of music? Would you say?
Well, we want it to be mostly performance based because I think dance pop, they like to see maybe choreography in that.
It's more the artist is singing, followed by lots of close-ups on the artist, but in the background it's mostly, as we just said, performance based. There's lots of dancing, lots of we found out that when doing analysing our music videos, we found out that there's lots going on in dance pop videos.
Yeah.
For example, there's lots of fantasy things like unicorns.
Okay. No, that's fine.
But I think it was Katy Perry on one song. She does dance pop, and
Very
there was
bright
so
colours.
much going on, and it was
Bit
lots to do
too
with fantasy,
much.
like rainbows. So it
Exaggerated.
includes lots of wacky.
Yeah, would you say
objects.
all dance pop does that, or
No, not at all.
No,
Not at all, but
and you decided not to do that.
No.
No,
we're going to keep ours classy because it's black
Simple.
and gold. We're going to try and relate.
So
the
that's the
lyrics
song
to
you've
what
gone
goes
for.
on
So
screen.
let's talk a little bit about that then. You've decided to go for Sam Sparrow Black and Gold, yeah?
Yep.
So what made you choose that song in particular?
I think that we all know the song quite well. I think we understand like the lyrics, and we listened to it before, so we have an understanding of what.
Did you analyse those lyrics?
Yeah, we had a little look.
You might want to go back to that in terms of feedback. Yeah. You might want to go back to those lyrics in terms of if you're going to do a narrative, make sure that you kind of engage with the underlying meanings of those lyrics. That's an important stage there.
I think like the main message of the song was that he was questioning God.
Okay.
Because of the lyrics, there was like lyrics like because if you're not really here, I think it was related to God, and so but we want to change that perception for our target audience, like him talking about a girl instead. Try and change that because that's what most dance pop videos are about. Like the music videos are about love.
You want to keep it a bit more light-hearted, but I would suggest that the tone of your song, in terms of the beat and the musical kind of feel of that song, I would suggest is fairly slow. It's fairly almost sinister. I don't know if you'd agree with me on that.
Yeah.
So maybe using the iconography in your video that kind of thinks, sees love perhaps in a more negative way, or you could kind of think about that a bit more.
Yeah.
Would it be worth going back to either a focus group or just asking a group of people what the lyrics mean to them and getting a few ideas together? Mm-hmm. Because you suggested that you're going to change the lyrics to fit what you would want it to be, whereas that might not necessarily be the best thing. Maybe have a few options, maybe kind of get people to say, listen to this song or read these lyrics, maybe people in your English language class if you do that, and just ask them, what do you think's going on here? And then maybe you could kind of bring those ideas together and it will give you a few more options.
Yeah.
Mm. And perhaps we can make the visuals more obvious to our audience so that they can understand the lyrics more.
Yeah, if you think that it is perhaps a little bit difficult and your audience, you want that repeatability factor, you want them to not find it simple, you want to kind of have, if you've done narrative theory a bit, you have done a bit of narrative theory, thinking about enigma codes, raising questions in the audience's mind. You want them to watch it again to get some of those hidden meanings too. So you want to have that balance between it being clearly communicated, but also some intrigue there that people want to watch again, that repeatability factor. Mm-hmm. Well, in terms of setting, your main concept's going to be performance based. Where are you going to set that? Where are you planning to film? Have you got any ideas for that, for locations yet or anything?
Christian's house.
Okay, so you're going to, the whole house?
Well, he's got a very big house.
Yeah.
And this, for example, this has just popped into my head. He's got lots of stairs. So it sort of goes up one stairs, off, and upstairs. So maybe we could start from the top of the house, and we make our way down.
Well, how's that setting suit the song, would you say?
We're going to film most of it in front of a white backdrop, so we can do those visuals as well.
Okay.
So whether that's just get a white sheet or find like a white
like the simple.
I don't know.
What's
Yeah, keep it really simple.
Yeah.
And not include too much, like.
Yeah, I would.
Because it's quite a slow song, so we don't want to keep it really busy in the video. Just keep it simple, I think.
Yeah, you obviously want to have that stillness. It may be thinking matching the beat of the music, so it might be, if there's like a spike in the music, a raise in sort of volume or pitch, or even at the chorus, you might want to then cut to slightly different scenes. Totally film more than you need, which you'll know from previous experience to do that. What you might want to do in these early stages is do some filming at the house, but then maybe decide that you just want to manipulate what you've got with the white sheet and keep it, not keep it too narrative, I would suggest.
We just wanted to keep it like black and white forever, just to link with the black of the song, and then towards the end like more gold, maybe trying to link to the title of the song.
Would your target audience like something in black and white, the whole thing, or would you perhaps want to show different changes or shifts in emotions through the use of colour? Possibly that could work. You could have a combination of black and white. If you've got scenes that are in the past, that often works well with black and white, and then scenes in the present in colour. If you've not got those time frames in your song, you might want to reflect that in terms of moving forward or changing joy or emotion, or maybe in the chorus bits where it's you've got some of those colours and those symbols coming through. So in terms of kind of ways forward, what kind of things based on what we've been discussing are you going to do now, do you think? Or the best way forward before you start actually planning and getting...
I think that the main thing probably need to do now is actually get another focus group to look at the lyrics and see what they think about it.
Yeah.
Focus more on our song this time. Not what they find interesting in our music videos. We could show them the original.
See what they think about it,
and then see what they think of the lyrics.
Yeah,
so we can find out more
show them
about
that
what
video.
our target audience thinks of the actual.
Yeah, and you want, you're doing a song that has a video that already exists, so you need to make sure that when they hear the song, they don't just think of that video. So how are you going to make yours kind of unique and distinctive, but maybe breathe new life into that song or show a different spin on it?
Yeah.
So I'd agree. If you go back and sort of really nail down the lyrics a little bit more, think a bit more carefully about how you're then going to reflect the meanings of that song in terms of settings and casting and props, and then go back to like your equipment list and sort of do some test shots of locations, do some shots of kind of costumes and colours and things like that, and do like a big mood board will really help you with that. I think that's the next bit of your planning to do. Then I suppose it's all about storyboarding, isn't it, really, and that will take a little while.
Yeah.
Any questions that you want me to answer? Anything you're not sure about or know what to do next?
What do you think about our idea?
I like the idea that you're going to have just the main artist, and with the kind of, it's hard to visualise at the moment because there's nothing for me to see, so to speak, and obviously you've got some more planning. I like the song. I think you've identified your target audience well. I think you've done research into similar songs that really give you that particular style. Do like the idea of black and white. But like I've said, you want that repeatability factor, so how you're going to sort of make it interesting and maybe kind of not necessarily have it all in black and white, because I'm not sure that would totally link.
We could start in black and white and then end in colour, maybe, have different things coming on.
If the song lends itself to maybe changing towards the end, you then might change the colour.
Because we don't want our audience to lose interest and get bored.
Well, no, of course not. And I'm not saying that having it in black and white will be boring, but it's why you're doing it in black and white, what you're trying to say with that. Are you trying to do it because it's just a style thing? In which case, okay.
Yeah, recently, will.i.am brought out that song Bang Bang, I think it was called, with the black and white video, but I'm not sure because I think that was.
But in terms of post production and how he did that, he did lots of kind of techniques afterwards in that process, which made it look almost 1920s silent movie. And I think if you were to do it that way, you could, but I think you either go completely like that, where you're capturing a time period and you're having a real stylistic idea, or you just use black and white because you particularly want to reflect or show something. I think that the song lends itself to being quite moody and quite cool and kind of jazzy almost. But it's making sure your settings and locations reflect that, because for me the black and white would work, but then I'd want it set maybe in a mock-up of a club with cigarettes and kind of girls in the background dancing, and that's very much like the original video. So I think maybe just go back to the lyrics, come up with a few different ideas, and then if you want feedback on a couple more different ideas, or you've taken this idea further, then we can just chat about that. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Okay.